Yes, indeedy. We are working on the gate still. Got a few things. I forgot the clock in. I forgot the clock in, darn it. Oh well, it is what it is. We'll see if we get too dark, what we'll do. Had to go to Lowe's. About $100. Now some of it's gonna be extra and left over, but what I really wanted, it came to a point where I wanted these guys. I wanted the three prongers, right? Always trying to up my game. Always trying to up my game. Oh, welcome, by the way. I'm Dave with Affordable Door and Gate. I'm your host tonight. If you guys got anything, you're more than welcome. We probably won't stay out here too long because the sun is going down. I already put some hours in on her today. But you know how you just get that itch? That itch, and when it was really close to the shop, just like, dude, I can go back and I get another 30 minutes in. Because the weather's changing. I think Wednesday we got bad weather coming. Oh, don't forget, if you're jumping in here, hit the like, by the way, if you don't mind. Now where was I at? Another thing when you do gate operators, make sure you bring a vacuum. A lot of guys don't vacuum it out. That's the one thing my pet peeve. Oh, and if Eric jumps on here, we'll have to see if Eric jumps on. He wanted to hear it run. It'll run. Okay, so where are we at here? Where are we at here, big dog? I see Tony's in the house. How's it going, Mr. Tony? Hope you had a good day. I know your Monday started out pretty rough. It looked like a pretty nasty little door. Not horrible, but bad enough. For a Monday. Monday, but not a fun day. Kind of not used to these one clips. Like I said, I don't really like these ones. They're kind of cheap, I think, from Menards. But you can, how do you release them? I don't think you can release them. I think you got to cut them. I think they're one-time use. Or I got these other ones. They got little switches on them. They're kind of nice. Ooh, getting a little chilly. Chilly. Thought about getting me an ice shanty for out here. It's really not too windy. It's perfect right now. No. It's pretty much just like doing garage door stuff. Except for the accessories. The accessories could be a problem. All right, let's do the big wire first. Pushed into the big wire first. That's awesome. Do green. Green worked really good. Let's see if it'll work on the solid wire. Should, I would assume. At some point, I might fire the gate up and close it, honestly, because I've seen somebody walking down that looked a little like he might be lonely and want a hug. Perfect. Sweet. So all my connections fit in there. Let me see if I can flip the old camera around for you. Check out a few of these comments. Open up. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. So we got all the green. They all fit in these little connectors, which works nice. I had the two, but not bad. Got the old 3-button wired in. We got they had their stop linked in here somehow. It's kind of weird. So trying to make it as clean as I can. This was we had to cut out. I've done this before. I cut out the base. See how they had this jumper at it? I don't want to mess with that. All that kind of stuff. They give you this nice little cheat sheet right here, so you can do all your settings. Really nice unit, 460, big boy. The only thing I noticed though is I've never noticed one pulley on here and one belt. They normally do two, so I don't know if this is a quality issue or this is what they're going to. But this thing actually vibrates a little more than what I'd like to see. So I asked Kat to maybe send an email out to one of the guys to see if that's like the normal cost savings. What's going on there? You know what I mean? Oh man. Number one, big dog. That's right. Richard's in the house. What's up, Richard? Haven't seen you in a while. Or heard from you, I should say. Hey, Dave. Nice to meet you. What a funny. What's ergo? Wego. What's that all mean? What's that? Wego? Are these what these are called or something? Wego? I don't know what these are called. Then try another one. We're gonna try another one, eh? Shall we? Anybody do anything exciting? Let me know what the weather's like. Anybody got warmer weather? Above freezing at least? Gosh, it's cold. And I'll take a little more. Take a little more off that one. The white one's all good, so we're good there. There we go. There's that. Let's do another white. There's another white. Let's do a white on this one. Because I believe, only thing I gotta check though is I gotta check with the blue. I gotta check the blue. Uh-huh. I did fix the roller. Maybe I can check the other gate and see if what the blue was for. I'm kind of not sure. I'm daydreaming on this. I forget where I got this big hook from. Man, this thing works nice. That way you don't lose your keys for your stuff. Super duper nice. Super. It's the one with the X on it, right? That's the one. Oh, come on. There you go. There you go. Turn. There we go. All right, let's see what the old hefty blue was on. The blue used to be on terminal number 3. And terminal number 3, where's 3? That's closed. Open was 1, green, blue was close. And what they do for stop? 2, whatever's on 2. White was it? Is that what I got? All right, white, heavy duty. Should be one more heavy duty, right? There's no, because we had the stop. So that one's on 4, which is common. So common. So, okay. So we said blue is closed. Yep. And white is common. Okay. So blue is closed, which I did close as black. So I think I got it. So black. Oh, I wish I knew what was in there. I'm assuming. Well, I guess I better take the cover off. I better see what that 3 button's at. There's that. What else do we got here? Rich B's in the house. What's up, Rich? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're staying warm. I don't know what that is. There's something that says for freeze. Is that an anon unit? This is a linear. What are we working on? We're working on a gate operator. Just a gate operator. Just moves. Just trying to put a couple reps in before that night. Okay. So they did what I thought. Blue's on. There we go. Blue's on. This is an old wire job. So blue's on close. No big deal. Just got to figure out the old algorithm. Get on there, cover. I actually wasn't gonna. I got a brand new one of these, but to be honest, I decided to stay with the old one because the new ones have had problems. So I just said, you know what, we're gonna stay on that one. So there's that. We need to strip this one. Get the strippers. Oh, there we go. There's that. Get one more of these little guys. Try it out. As soon as I see a cop car, I see somebody walking down here, I'm gonna shut this gate. All right, what did I say? Blue? I want blue as closed, what somebody else did. Blue. Oh, baby. There we go. We can do this. We can do this together. Okay, there's that one. And black. There's that. There's that. That's why I also love these cabinets. Just tons of room in them. Tons of room. And like I said, you're normally sheltered for most part. Like if I had to, I'd put a board across here, you know, like a 4x6 or not 4x8, or some kind of tarp if I was in really extreme elements. And for some reason, you know, us up here in Michigan, we get horrible weather. And so I would, that's why these just work solid, man. I mean, I got options down here. I can keep the critters out. It's a huge junction box, you know, it's great. All right. Red. That one goes there. My white to white to white. Okay, there's that. Now the red, I'm a little bit, let me check to see if right now, yeah. So they actually must have the switch. They got the switch on the inside on, honestly, because it's got the gate held open right now. The reason I can tell that, as you can see right here, I got to hold open, and I don't have my stop, so my stop is not. Now I don't know if this one's gonna touch it, and we got it all in sync. Oh, we do. See, it goes away here. Should anyways. I thought it was blinking. Maybe it was just me. Yeah, it's going away. Come on, there you go. So that's good. We're in series, which is why they had whatever here to here to here. I don't know if they're transferring it through the stop or what, but that's just what I had. So this one only really needs a two connector, which I do have. I kept it so I'm not all junction up on this board. This is my little junction out here. The only thing I don't know for sure is my power. I think this one wire, I think it's for that. I don't know. I don't know. Whew. I don't know. I think it's for this. I don't know. It could be for this too. This one, I don't know if this still works or not, but this has, my concern is this will have to be sparky if this is the case, but I'll show you. Here's my dilemma. So they had an outlet in here, right here. Here it is. And if you look at the output of that, see the output says it's 12 VAC 50. I don't know if that's going to match up. So it was tied into this, that voltage. So just remember that voltage. I don't know whatever it goes to, if it's multi-universal or not, because I hooked it into here, my AC accessory on here, but I got DC power, but I don't know. This is going to be probably just 24 volts. Now I'm going to get rid of that open. Is it this open? Oh, it's not that open. So I like these two. You can just pull the terminals off. Real easy to work on. Now this one's going to screw it up, obviously. It's kind of a bummer because I have to disconnect it from there because I got it tied here. So let me throw that together real quick here. Check out these comments. See what's going on out there in the universe. I just installed my first 98032 LiftMaster side mount. Ooh, you only have to set the limit up and it automatically sets the down limit. Oh, and force limits. Nice. Nice. Love everyone. That's a cool name. Love it. Let me see if I can flip the old camera around so you can see my ugly mug. What is your opinion on, is it Subwing Motorline Professional 180 degrees underground gate operator? I've never seen one. I'm in Canada. where we have winter. Yeah, you have winter. There's no doubt about it in Canada. Canada's no joke. If you ever get a chance, send me an email on it. Send me a picture if you got one or done one or anything. Send me one at the Dave A. Use Sporty Test a Wire. Ooh, good idea, Mr. Tony. But yeah, so love everyone. Like I said, if you get a chance, email me at the Dave A. Dubson@gmail.com. I typically put in most of my videos below. I don't think I did on this one, but you can always send me an email. Otherwise, I can always, if it's easier phone, I can give you my number too. I wanted a system to open the gates 180 degrees, but it's hard to find folks that have installed it. I don't even know anything. Everyone, what's the width of the gate? Ooh, that's a good question. How wide? What's up, Uncle Dave? What's going on, man? How you doing? I mean, what is this? It says I'm using 2 to 7 foot gates. Oh, 2 to 7 foot, huh? That's not very big. Tony says, where's your tester at, Dave? Come on, the Sperry. Yeah, it's in the bag. The problem is I don't know where the power comes from. That's the problem. So I got this, that goes in these conduit tubes. I don't know if they go to the building or if I got them coming out here. So once tomorrow probably will be the day I can get this thing where I got the maintenance guy that can start, showing me what they can do, what they can't do. It's not really too complicated, honestly, but it's just, I want to make sure, I want to use the correct fittings and stuff, and all that stuff takes time. Like, you got to get all these little fittings like this for like the photo eye that I'm mounting outside, so it goes in the flexible conduit nice, and you got to drill in the cabinet, and you got to clean up your mess, and it's just stuff you got to do. Love everyone. The gates span, 14 foot. That's a little better. I want to open them off 2 columns. Man, that's crazy. Like I said, you have to show. I don't even know what that is. A lot of snowfall. Will do. Awesome. We'll email you a link. Heck yeah, send me a link on it. Be cool. See. All right, connections. Number 2. Where they at? Let me check. They're in here somewhere. Should have got the ones with the tops they want to spill. All right, we'll use a 2 connector. 2 connector. Ugh. Oh, gravity's winning today. All right. Then we're gonna see if we can fire this up before we head out of here. There we go. There's that. Ooh, I like it. Okay, so really all I gotta do is worry about safety tomorrow. Safety, let's disconnect this open. If we got a screwdriver. I can't believe I don't ever send you screwdrivers like gate operators. It's like one of those things, like if they would send you the screwdriver, look at that, yeah, it's like a little universal, got 2 sides to it. If they'd send them to you, I'd leave them in here, but they don't send them. There's that. Bring you up a little closer, shall we? Let's see if we pull that open off. There we go, we lost our open signal, which is good. Now what? So I do have the safeties bypassed right now, these 10K resistors, because I don't have the photo eye on here, which is why I love this unit, because I can set limits. So like when I do gates, I like to set my limits. So that way if anything gets bumped or moved or somebody hits a button or remote or something, I'm not going to travel. So like somebody, when they were probably manually running this gate, they smashed into the cover, broke the cover. Our competitor years ago, they don't do this anymore, but it's pretty kind of cool. They put stops in here. Theirs was reliable, so they put an R. That's how you know that they built this. Put R's on them. Kind of cool. They always put this weird wind bar. Our wind bars are always on the top. Stiffies. We call them a stiffy. Put them on top, they can be more pronounced. I don't know if this was an ingenious idea or not. I mean, because what happens is this chain ever gets really loose, it'll cradle in there, which is kind of nice. but you can see the complications with hitting the cabinet and just, yeah. This loop, I've used a big old wad of tar. This is quite a few years ago. This loop's not doing it. Looks like it's due for another little coat job. It's got a bad spot there. This one right here makes me concerned. It looks like they salt the hell out of this place. That's not looking pretty. That looks like it's going to start eating our wire and having problems. Not good. Not good. All right, let's see if this thing will fire. We're going to hear the annoying beep. And the nice thing is, if you don't want to hear the annoying beep, you just unplug this. I lied. There we go. I turned it off. It has a delay, a 3-second delay. I turned that off. So as soon as you fire it, it goes. Not too bad. Not too bad. Dun-dun, dun-dun. And voila, there you have it. Have ourselves a closed gate. It almost misses, you know, it makes it. You really want to have those there for the high winds. Here in Michigan, we can really get some gust winds. I think we just had 50-something miles. No, we hit 60. It was 60 the other day. So you got to have that, and it just helps some people breaking in, blah, blah. But we are really close to the stop. I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. But I put it right there. This is why I always order my gates an extra foot, because I mean, my goodness, you got all the room. Why not? You know, order it a foot longer than what you need. Plus, I would have done 6-inch posts on these because these things vibrate. Yeah. So, yeah, just things you learn. And you always, I'll wait. There's only one belt. Don't stick your finger in there. Beautiful. Another thing too is I always leave my things 6 inches at least. Sometimes a foot. You can always cut them, right? But you can't stretch them. But look at, they ran out of room. They were trying to bring it up. Probably had snow issues, or, you know, like look at how close that is. That's pretty close. I mean, there's a ledge right here or whatever. So not good. So that's why I always leave post high. You know what I mean? I mean, you think about it, it might have looked goofy, but who'd have cared nowadays? You know, if there was still another, you know, I don't know what happened to the cap. I assume they still had the cap on it. I mean, that was pretty close. But the plow guy probably took it away. I mean, look at, if it popped off in the wind, or I don't know, it's pretty close. And it's hard to say. Beast, man. Look at its conduit. Looks good. It's held up many years. Many years. Back in the day, probably used to have a little rope or something just to keep for in the weekends, you know. Then they upgraded when the money was doing good, when bowling was big time bowling. All right, let's shut this off for a second. Let's pull the disconnect, which is super easy. There you go, disconnected. Remember, you could be impaled. Grab our keys. Let's see what we did here. This is my initials on here, actually. What was done? Is it PM gate? That was back in 18. That was before COVID. Son of a biscuit. Wow. Big problem with this thing is it's the gearbox is leaking. Whoa. Gearbox is leaking. It's old. I don't remember what the date was on her. Do you remember what the date was on her? Let's see. 07. I think it's 07 from what I can tell on the sticker. Ooh, I got to get in, warm my hands up for a minute. Oh. Whew. What you guys got on here? No, sir. Yeah, overpriced. Sucked, it says. Is that what it says? Oh, man. Let's take a look here. I'm going to fire this truck up. Oh, man. Get this bad boy warmed up. My hands have... I don't have my camera crew today. Whew. we got here? What do we got? Where did I laugh off? Email you a link. Tony's got What a Pro. Oh man. Thanks. Is it T blank? It says, ever do a TKO door? I can't think I ever did. I have 2 to install tomorrow. Well, come on, man. Send me some pictures. Send them to my email or shoot me a text. I want to see them. Can't say I've ever done TKO. Oh man, Evan says Evan's on here. He says if you're still there once it gets dark, yeah, use the truck lights. I know. I was gonna park it already tonight, and I told myself, nah. I said I'm not gonna stay too late. You know what I mean? So, and for some reason I didn't bring. I got a light, a really nice light. I didn't bring it. Are those the ideal Wago connectors? Is that what they were calling somebody was saying it earlier? I don't know. I mean, I think they're whatever, just from Lowe's, you know. Seem to work. I never used them before. It's the first time I ever used them. Ta-da. Evan, what's up? Tony's got Mr. B. Waiting on quotes for doors. Evan, you dealing with the box store on that still for the quote? The box stores normally can do it, like, I don't know, who do you have? Don't you got Lowe's and stuff like that? I mean, they normally can do that stuff right away. Oh, I seen one light fire up over there. I figure the other lights are going to turn on over here. What's up? Yeah, Evan, your opener prices suck. Yeah. Yeah, Tony did send you a picture of that door I was dealing with yesterday. No, sir. Have you looked at the spring book? First couple pages will tell you about the IPPT and explain it. Exactly. I took a peek. I was trying to hold off till we can do a live stream. Nice. Burke Doors, he says, have a good evening. Same to you. Thanks for being here. Rich has got, is this Rich B? He says, is this Brunswick? Yep, this is Brunswick. This is one of their locations. This is more of distributing. Like, they kind of bring stuff in, but they got shoes and they got the bowling balls. They used to make the bowling balls right across the street. I think they got it somewhere else now, but there's a tunnel under the road, a big tunnel. So you can go one building to the other building. They tore the building down. So, they don't do the bowling balls, but I used to, when I first started here working for them, yeah, I mean, they'd have the racks and they'd be all raw, the bowling balls and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. The one guy used to run around here, his name, what was his name? Harold? I think his name was Harold, man. God, that guy drove fast. I couldn't believe how much. I told him one day, I said, man, for an old guy, I said, you drive. He goes, I ain't got much time. He says, life is getting shorter. He says, okay. He drove like a bat out of hell. All right. Send me some pictures. Do it up. I appreciate it. Only one box store got back to me today. Still waiting to get quotes from others. Home Depot kept hanging up on me. And so couldn't get a hold of anyone there. So I mean, I think this is a great this is a great opportunity right here with Mr. Evan. So I hope Evan doesn't mind. But this is why, you know, for people, you know, either thinking about starting or kind of getting into it, this is a great example why I'm always like, whatever kind of business you're going to get into, you got to find out where your resources are going to come from, right? Because, so like for me, Menards is really, they're really kick-hiney online. Their website is amazing. So I don't know. I don't think, Evan, you don't have Menards up in your area, I'm assuming, the Menards. I think they're only in like Wisconsin and stuff like that. But whoever can give you the price, and if it's not too far away, I would personally, like probably like with Home Depot and Lowe's, if I'm looking for numbers, I'm probably just going to go there, you know, and stand in front of somebody, get somebody's attention and be like, hello, I'm a human. Yes, I'm not AI. And yes, I'm not on a telephone and I'm not waiting. And you're not going to put me on hold. I'm standing here waiting to talk to you. If you're looking for prices of that, where once you can figure out the algorithms, like if you could even, I know you probably can't. Like for me, I can use Menards after hours for pricing, and I normally know our doors are going to cost anywhere from $100 to $200 more than what you're going to buy at Menards. So you can at least get your numbers. But what I'm getting at too is this is also why I think, right, and I'd love to hear anybody's opinion on it, but you can invest a crap ton of time that in a nutshell you don't get paid for, right? So that's why sometimes I look at it and I go, let the customer, because I've done this over the years with residential people, they can turn into a nightmare. They really can be, because they, they get, it's no offense, but we love those wives sometimes, but they get these ideas and they go, well, since we're changing it, I mean, why don't we get something that looks better, or we get something that's wood grain or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they go back and forth. I played that game. That's why normally I only give them 3 options. And I always tell them in the brochure, I always say everything back there is going to get more and more and more expensive. Or in the back is cheaper and the front is more expensive in the brochures typically. But what I'm getting at is that if you can just have them say, I just get them through whoever, Lowe's, Home Depot, they got the best prices, right? You just got to know how to kind of sales spin it, right? They got the best prices, so I just go with them. They're local. Yeah, if we need any kind of warranty issues, you can use them. And then what you can do is just have them go, and then before they say get everything what you want, right? But let me see the build sheet. I don't know what they technically call it. I don't think it's called a confirmation. I'd say it's like the build sheet before they would purchase it, because like most stores, you can go in the lumber yard or whatever, right? And you can get a sheet, but you got to go up to the register to pay for it. Well, don't do the register yet. Go past, and then if they can send you a picture of it, or a copy of it, or email it, or you can see it, that's where I would micromanage that thing really hardcore and say, okay, it's got 2 springs, it's torsion springs. Ooh, it says extension springs. I'd cross that out right on there. No, convert that over to torsion spring. Blah, 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 blah. Don't forget perimeter seals. One thing that's going to get forgotten about, especially if it's a color door. They might not have that stuff in stock. That's always really common for our area anyways. All they carry is white, and sometimes they don't even carry 16-foot white. They only carry 7-foot white, and sometimes they're out of that even. So weather seals are really big on the perimeter seal. All kinds of stuff. Let's see. Only box store got back to me, still Home Depot. Couldn't get a hold of any there. He says no Menards. Is it Home Hardware, not Depot? Gave me a quote for 2 different models of both doors. Waiting to hear if I can get the bottom section. I don't even know. Did you ever determine what kind of door that was to get a bottom section? What kind of make and model it is? Unless that's the place it's called, that whatever, Home Hardware. That's pretty cool how they made bowling balls with the weights in them to get them to hook. Oh yeah, it was a neat, it's a pretty neat place. The tunnel underneath was really cool. They drive golf carts and stuff under there, building to building. Huge operation back in the day. Really big operation. For sure, Dave. Need to know where you're getting those parts before you even get rolling. Yes. I would totally agree with Tony. And I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing. It was just like, I'm going into business, so I'm gonna be a millionaire. And it's like, there's only so much you can do. And then I still look at it today and I just go, like, knowing what I know now, and for all these people out here, like, there's just some basic stuff that you probably need. Like, you want some nylon rollers and some hinges and some drums and some torsion tube and some struts. Those are things that just are not readily available. Get 18-foot struts. If you're going to run into 18-footers, you got to cut them down. Oh, well, you charge the customer for it, 2-inch strut, 3-inch struts. And so there's some basic stuff that you're going to have to get from somebody, right? Probably, because you can't get it shipped to your door. If you do, it's going to be damaged or something. But the rest of the stuff, like the Amazon, I wouldn't even think twice. I would buy the stuff all day long out of Amazon for springs as much as I could. They're cheap, like I said, but that's why also, long as you're staying local and close, hopefully you have good luck. I mean, if there's some problem, not a problem. It's 5, it's 10, 15, 20 minutes down the road. But if you start doing stuff that 2 hours away, forget about it. 2 hours is way too much, and you won't notice it, right? Because it's almost like, and I'm just speaking out. This is my opinion. I'm not saying these are facts, but it's almost like you go, like, remember when you could first drive? I'm sure we all remember, right? It's been a while for me. I got a few gray hairs. But remember when you could first drive and you were just like, oh, I'm going to drive everywhere, And then, but there was always a limit, right? You're like, I'm going to make that big trip. And then you're like, oh, crap. I can't afford it. The money, the hotel, the gas, the wear and tear because you're driving a beater or whatever you got. I don't want to put that many miles on, yada, 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 right? It goes on and on. But that's kind of the same thing in business. Like, you can just look past it and you're like, I'm going to do this job and they're going to pay me like $1,200 or $2,000. And, I'm probably going to make like $300 off of it, blah, 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 when you should really be making a hell of a lot more. But it's like that hidden tax that nobody talks about, where it's like, then all of a sudden, bam, it'll hit you one day. It could be 3 years down the road, 5 years, and you're cranking a wrench and you got a blown out tire. Your tires are all worn out. Your brakes are shot. The car's got a bunch of miles on it. It needs a transmission. And you're like, what the hell, man? And you're like, well, I mean, it's all that driving. It's all that driving you're doing. It adds up. So that's why, like, for me, I'd be like, who's ever closest, and you'd have to micromanage it. You got to make sure when you go there to pick up your stuff, maybe check out your orders, because obviously box stores are going to be a little rougher than a distributor, probably. Well, about guarantee it. But, you basically have another secretary at your disposal at the box store. You can complain, you can call them back, you can whatever. And if the customer goes through them and it's all on them, then you're just a laborer, right? And then you just install it and you're like, well, I'm sorry, man, the door's dented, but I can come back, but it's gonna be another $75 for me to change that out. So there's definitely some pros and some cons. What's Rich got on here? He goes, I was 12. What do you mean you're 12? I got warmed up enough. I'm gonna close her up. My hands are frozen. But if anybody can think of a better saying, I know Rich comes up with some pretty good stuff too, but that's the only way I can kind of think of it. It's basically, god darn, modern cars and locking their freaking doors and beat somebody's, give me an old square body. Trucks. There. Now I'll probably just lock myself out. Make sure of that. I used to work on cars at a Penske, whatever. You always roll the window down because damn cars lock on you or something. But anyways, what I was getting at was it's like a tax. What I mean? Is the way I look at it, because you don't realize it at first that you're getting hit, because are you really getting are you really charging for your time appropriately when you start doing the math and say, oh, I want to make $15 or $20 or $50 an hour, and you start doing the math of your drive time going there, dealing with, if you really wrote it all down, you'd really see, like, oh my gosh, I'm only making, I'm making $8 an hour. This is ridiculous. But instead you look at it like the job, right? You look at oh my gosh, that job, I'm going to make $100, $200, and I'm only going to be there, for 20 or 30 or an hour, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I'm making so much. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but all that time it took to order, like right now, like Evan could do it because he's doing small stuff in a sense, like start factoring in all your time. Let the customer do that, you know what I mean? You start factoring, you're waiting for quotes, you got to call people. It's an inconvenience. You're talking about it, you're thinking about it. You got to crunch the numbers, when realistically you just need to be the laborer and say, go get whatever you want, customer, and let me know, and I will install it. Now I know some people probably need help. It's not how it always works, but that's how I'd like it to work to some degree, because customers can be a pain in the butt. What was that? That was a screw. And where'd the other one go? Let's set that one down there. Where'd the other one go? These are precious screws. I do not want to lose these. It's for the 3-button. I heard it. Do not want to lose the 3-button screws. Those are hard to replicate. Everything good. Everything good. Everything good. Everything good. All right. Good. Good. Disconnected. You disconnected the gate, right? I believe so. There we go. Lock her up. We'll see you probably tomorrow. I think tomorrow's our last day before we get a bunch of snow. I told the customer, I said, well, we'll get it running probably by the end of the week. Hopefully we don't get so much snow. This thing gets all boogered up. It's been really nice. It's been super nice. Shoot, if I had some salt, well, I can maybe bring some tomorrow. It's been super nice. It's been so clear here. You know what I mean? They got it all nice and cleaned up. All right, I think we're good here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do. They're supposed to, doors come up with straps, something here. Excuse me. No Menards. Bowling. For sure to know where to get those before. Yes, I did it. Steelcraft T12, 16 by 8. I'm trying to get just the 2 bottom sections if I can. So let me talk about those bottom sections. This is what I found. It's one of those things. Excuse me. It's one of those things. I get kind of excited because I've been spanked so many times with this stuff. So, and that's the thing, right? Because I love you guys, I really do, and I don't want people to get spanked. It sucks. And here's my thing, right? Very rarely, unless it's a commercial, right? It seems like commercial doors you can get away with it. Or commercial buildings, because commercial, they're worried about function, right? They're not worried about prettiness in a sense. They're worried about function. The forklift hit it, blah, blah. But residential, what I have found out over the years, at least with our vendors, if we do, it's called sections only. I want sections only. It's a complete, just sections. They won't give you any hardware or anything. It's just the sections. It typically, I will actually jack up the price on the sections enough to make it worth them to say yes to sections only. Because when I price them, they rape you on sections, just 2 sections. It's like they know. They're like, oh, we know you need a couple sections. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like something to do with like how they process them, or it's more labor, or they just know. They so anytime I come across anybody, it seems like with 2, I just need a section. The section, maybe 1 if the door's not too old. But most of the time, the door has faded. The color doesn't match. It looks horrendous. And they do not even realize it. Right? That's the problem. They don't even realize. Like, you're sitting there telling them, well, this could be this, this could be. And they're sitting there kind of looking at you cross-eyed. Huh? You know, and then when you do it, and now it's on their house, and now they look back and they see it and they pull up to it every day, and it's their house, and they got to live with this thing for X amount of years. They're like, ugh. Well, it doesn't look the same. And you're like, no. You know, and you can kind of get away with maybe 1 door and not the second, but you definitely see it a mile away when it's 2 sections on there on a door that the sheen's all gone, and the new door the 2 new sections have sheen. So I always do, you know, I kind of always do like the AutoZone or a parts store, right? I always go, well, you know how it is. Go to a parts store and try to build a car. It's going to cost you more than just to buy the car. So for whatever reason, the manufacturers give discounts on multiple sections. So I normally price it where the sections are like 100 or 200 bucks higher than complete sections only. That's just me. Call me crazy, but it's because I've been spanked in my area anyways, many a times, that I just do sections only and that's all I'm doing. You know what I mean? And then typically, like I said, I always warn them, obviously, this store's going to look newer compared to your other door. That they seem like they can understand because there's normally a mullion or a header or a breakaway or whatever you want to call it that separates it from another garage. But when you do a garage door, I tell you what, it's one of those things. I feel like I always get kicked in the nuts and I go, man, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel happy about it. I don't feel satisfied about it. I don't sleep good at night about it. I just don't like it. Unless it's like on the back of a pole barn or something, nobody sees it. But every time now I drive by that, or every time they pull up, or every time their friends or their family members or their neighbors, they're like, why does your door look kind of, well, I wish the guy would have told me, I didn't know. And you could tell them till you're blue in the face, and customers never. That's why when you tie up their money, they listen. When they have to sign, they pay attention. And when you produce results, they see with their own two eyes. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, I just go, I only do sections only. Normally, I always cringe really bad because I feel like people think I'm ripping them off, but they charge a hell of a lot for those sections. But sections only typically bring it down in price a little bit. It's not that much more. You're already going to spend $200 and some dollars, or $200 and some dollars per section. So you're at what, 2, 4. You're at 500. You might as well $600 or $700, and you get sections only, and then everything looks the same. You know what I mean? And if they get real crafty and they got space for it, you can go, you could keep these other 2 sections if you wanted, or whatever, for spares. And sometimes the old timers, oh yeah, let's take this out back, put it along the shed. I'll be weed whipping around it for 20 years, but I want it. I want to use that for making them sawhorses. Good. Have at it. You paid for them. They're yours, Do 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 do. They are those type of doors that come with strap for a top strut. Ugh. Rich's guy, he says he was 12. He's out driving around causing hell. Is it Jaden? What's up, Jaden? Says hello. I'm Jaden. I'm a garage door enthusiast. Ooh, nice. I gave you some confetti. Nice. Appreciate it. Enthusiast of horror fetish. Evan, he says, I explained about the color being different. They said I'd be okay, but I'd pay more if I do new doors plus the openers. Rich has got, he says, do a good job looking over the door for any defects to condemn the door. That's true. That is true. And that's why, like I said, I just kind of do sections. I like sections only. I really do. Because even when Evan says, explain it to him, you haven't done nothing yet. That's why it's always one thing you got to learn. What I've learned in the garage door business and stuff like that is it's this. It's whoa, time out. You got the time. You can tell them on the phone, if somebody's calling you, say, hey, can I call you back in a minute? I got another customer online. You just have to learn how to be a salesperson. That's the whole key, right? You just have to learn how to do sales. And you got to build the confidence. And so for me, Mama always told me, right? You got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so shut up and listen. So what I do is I do less talking, right? I just sit there and go, okay, well, this is kind of our options, this or this. Hey, when I get the numbers, I'll send them over to you, right? That's my timeout. That's my, I don't know. I'll check out the numbers, and most people can't harass you much when you say, I don't know, until I see. I'll talk to my vendor. I'm going to make a few phone calls Monday, whatever. But what I get at is that you still have time, right? You haven't committed. You haven't got a check or anything. Right now is the time where if you get sections only and numbers on sections, you might look at it and go, holy crap, Uncle Dave's right. I mean, for another $100 or $200 more, I can get sections only versus just 2 sections. Why wouldn't I? I have more chances of, more quantity of doors or sections, and everything's going to match. Maybe there's unforeseen stuff that you start tearing into. You pull out 2, and you're like, oh, this part up here is damaged, or this one does have still a kink in it. It'll be okay. Is it going to be okay? Because when the door comes together, and now it's making this popping noise or something. So, so like for me, I would actually price it actually a little bit higher, and I go, they give discounts for quantity. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, that's what you guys expect, right? You go somewhere, you buy something in bulk, right? You go to a Sam's or whatever, or Walmart or something, buy something in bulk, you get a discount. Same thing with garage doors. You just tell them it's a bulk discount price. I don't understand it either. I think it's how they process it. Instead of shutting down the line, instead of processing 2 sections, they process all 4. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's just one of those things. For me, it made more sense. It might not be. Canada's a little different. It might be like they charge, $250 per section. But if you can tell them you want sections only, sometimes that helps get, you'll be surprised. I didn't know it for the longest time. And then when I started looking at it all the time, on paper, I'd be like, God, for, $150, $200. I mean, you're basically getting a section for free. Like, why would I not just get sections only? And then it's all wrapped. I got more options. I don't have to think about it so hard unless your hardware. If you got damaged hardware, that gets a little goofy, because then now it's like, what do you do? Order a whole door. Rich as God, he says. Evan says, I might just say the store won't sell just 2 sections, and they get their door supply by the mom and pop door company. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to handle that, honestly. Kind of depends. That's a tough one. You know what I mean? That is a tough one. And I think that's why, like, this might be a good... I'm going back in my own memory bank here. This makes me think about maybe why I always think about, like, you want to, maybe you just tell people, say, unfortunately, I don't, how do you say it though? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't repair, but unfortunately, I don't do sections and stuff. I just replace. So if you want a new door, I can give you, a price, and that's where, like, I feel like if I was starting out again, like, I would just probably come up with maybe like a square foot, what I want to be paid per square foot. Or, it's a day rate, just do a day rate, and you say, well, it's, I want $200 a day or $300 a day. So I just do it as a day rate. So that door is going to be a day. It's a 9x7. I do that by a day. That's a day. That's a day. With an opener on there, that's still a day, or whatever you feel, you know what I mean? Or you just, tell them, do an opener. Your openers are, they pay $200. Well, they're higher there. So instead you do, for you, I think it's actually easier because the prices are so high. Of course, I don't know what wages are and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's the problem. I mean, and what houses and what, like, I don't know what milk costs and stuff like that, and gas. So I don't know, that's where you got to kind of figure that stuff out. Those are like headlights, like a cop over there. It's in the cemetery. They just turned on. I know they sit over here once in a while. But that's why, like, what I know now is I wouldn't spend a ton of time with customers stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'd probably just tell them, say, either search around a little bit for the sections. That'd probably be the only thing I'd be doing for the 2 sections, or sections only, or wherever you can find those. Because there's got to be a door company that deals with them or can get you a price. And it's going to be high, because you got to imagine they're buying from a vendor, then they're coming to their door company, whatever, then they're going to charge, they're going to do a markup on them. So it's going to be expensive. But I look at it and I'd say, well, okay, there's that price. But to replace the doors, I'd probably give them maybe a list, say, like, I'd write something down or text them or something, say, look, you're going to want 2 torsion springs, you're going to want this size door, You're going to want 15-inch radius. You're going to want nylon rollers. You're going to want 14 gauge hinges or something. You know, just so they have something to kind of either hand to the clerk or whoever it is, the guy that types it up, and he goes, oh, okay, yeah, okay, we can get this for you. That might mitigate some of that back and forth. And then I'd want that last confirmation before they paid for them. Say, still give me that or send it to me. I'd look it over real good. Okay, it looks like it's the right color. Did you guys want brown? Oh yeah, we decided we want brown doors. Okay, not a problem. You want wood grain? Oh, okay, I see it says wood grain. You know, it's got torsion spring on it. You know, it's got everything you want. It's got the right sweep on it for the radius. What about perimeter seal? I don't see perimeter seal on here. You know, are you sure you want to go, you know, with an inch thick door or whatever it is? You know, it's things like that. And then, you know, give them the green light and tell them, say, look, it's just going to be, you know, and hopefully the company will deliver, because I wouldn't really want to have to deal with hauling them. A lot of things, man. A lot of logistics. So I tell you guys, go be a realtor. Just deal with paperwork and do commission and sell stuff. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes for this stuff. You need bigger trucks. You need bigger trailers. You know, a warehouse. All adds up. All right, you guys, I'm going to hop off. It looks like we're all caught up on the comments. I want to buzz out. I got a little bit of a trip to make, so see you on the next one. Make sure to keep fingers. Thanks for being here. Thanks for 5 likes, too, by the way, on a Monday night.